BTS's Jin ends World Tour with Amsterdam concert. The concert in Amsterdam on August 10, 2025 marked the end of the Ran Jin episode tour, which was held to celebrate the release of the BTS members' first solo album Happy and his second album Echo. The fan tour began with a performance in Goyang, Gyeonggi Province in June and included 18 concerts in 9 cities in South Korea, Japan, the United States, and Europe. Ran Jin Episode 2 set several records for Jin and the Korean music industry. He became the first Korean solo artist to perform at the O2 Arena in London. He drew the largest crowd ever for a K-pop artist at the Honda Center, Anaheim, California. Sold out the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, for the first time according to Big Hit Music. The final concert at the Ziggo Dome, Amsterdam, was broadcast in cinemas in more than 18 countries. There, Jin addressed ARMY, "I'll be by your side, so stay by my side too." He and the rest of BTS plan to release new music and go on a world tour in 2026, marking the first time the group has performed as a full band and released an album in 4 years. South Korean president hosts dinner for foreign embassies. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung held a gala dinner on Friday for representatives of foreign embassies in South Korea, which was also attended by Russian diplomats, the South Korean president's office said. President Lee Jae-myung hosted an official dinner for representatives of foreign embassies at the state guest house of the Chonwade office complex on Friday, with 170 people attending, according to a statement from the presidential office. The Russian embassy was represented by Minister Consul Dmitry Kulkin. Also present were acting United States Ambassador to South Korea Joseph Yun, People's Republic of China Ambassador Dai Byung, and Japanese Ambassador Koichi Mitsushima. During the dinner, the President of the Republic of Korea emphasized that he intends to work more closely with foreign leaders to resolve global problems. If possible, I plan to meet with as many foreign leaders in person as possible, since impersonal communication is the starting point of relations between countries. However, if there are any restrictions with this, we will resort to correspondence or communication by phone, Lee Jae-myung said during the meeting. This dinner took place on the eve of major international events. In particular, this year the Epic Summer will be held in the Republic of Korea in the city of Gyeongju from October 31st to November 1st. South Korea invites Putin to Epic Summit. On August 15, Ambassador-at-Large of the Russian Foreign Ministry Marat Berdiyev reported that the South Korean authorities invited Russian President Vladimir Putin to the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit (APEC) in Gyeongju. The ambassador also noted that the decision on the level of the delegation will be made later. The decision will be made by the Russian presidential administration based on analysis of a wide range of circumstances, in particular the expected productivity of the meeting and the conditions for reaching agreement that are significant for Moscow. Seoul confirms date for South Korean-US summit. US-South Korean leaders to hold summit in Washington on August 25th. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung and US President Donald Trump will hold their first summit in Washington on August 25th to discuss security and cooperation in advanced industries, the South Korean presidential office confirmed on Tuesday. This was confirmed to reporters on Tuesday by presidential spokeswoman Kang Yoo-jong. According to her, Lee Jae-myung will visit the United States from August 24 to 26, and the summit will be held at the White House. This is the first visit to the United States by a South Korean president since taking office in early June. The two leaders plan to discuss ways to transform the South Korea-US alliance into a future-oriented comprehensive strategic alliance in response to the changing international security and economic environment, Kang Yoo-jong said. The leaders are also expected to discuss industrial cooperation in the semiconductor, battery, and shipbuilding sectors, building on the trade deal the two countries reached earlier this month, the spokeswoman added. The summit's agenda is expected to include discussions of specific provisions of the tariff agreement reached between the United States and South Korea, as well as security issues, including increased defense spending and possible change in the role of US troops stationed in South Korea. These topics are considered in the context of a broader initiative to modernize the Korea-US alliance. Korea-Vietnam agreed to increase bilateral trade. The Republic of Korea and Vietnam have agreed to increase bilateral trade to $150 billion, 208 trillion won, by 2030 and expand cooperation in infrastructure areas such as nuclear power plants and high-speed rail, as well as supply chains for key minerals. The leaders also agreed on the need to strengthen cooperation in the construction of nuclear power plants, high-speed railways, and new cities. The two sides also agreed to strengthen cooperation in the field of major minerals, combining Vietnam's rich resources with Korea's advanced technology. From this year, the two countries will begin to explore ways to cooperate in the supply, processing, and use of such minerals. The leaders also agreed to expand ties in the areas of diplomacy, security, and national defense. The G-MON stressed, "We believe that high-level exchanges are of paramount importance to enhancing mutual understanding and political trust between our countries. We plan to continue a high-level interaction through the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, and Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, APEC meetings." The leaders also agreed to make efforts to ensure the successful holding of the APEC 2025 summit in October in Gyeongju, North Gyeongsang-Pukto Province, and the APEC 2027 summit in Phu Quoc Island, Vietnam.